Hello boys and girls, and welcome back to another World of Tanks video. And in today's video guys, we're going to preview one of the newest tanks which comes probably with the Tank Fest event, and that's called the BZ-74-1, which is a tier 8 premium Chinese vehicle. Alright guys, so let's look a little bit into the statistics of this vehicle, and as you can see, you have a 420 alpha damage or with standard penetration of 223. If you want to shoot gold, you have 270, and of course if you want to shoot high explosives, you have 61 penetration, which gives you 550 alpha damage, which is not too bad whatsoever, I suppose. Once again, the penetration of the high explosives is not the greatest. So you have an average damage per minute of roughly 2,400, which is not too bad. Dispersion of 4.3 the 100 meters, and an aiming time of 246, which means you're going to have to improve that aiming. Keep in mind, I already have the equipment on the tank, therefore I have a little bit of a better aiming at the moment. Gun depression of -9 with 19 elevation angles. Whole armor of 180 frontally, 60 on the side, 60 on the rear as well. 220 turret armor as well, 100 on the side and 70 on the rear as well. So I can't say this is going to be the most heavy armored for the Chinese whatsoever. Speed-wise, 56 top speed and 19 reverse. Once again, keep in mind I do have the experimental mobility at the moment, and therefore you have also a range of 429. Let's look a little bit into the armor of this tank. Right, so I took specifically this RU with a gun against the armor of this tank. As you know, Saryuda has a pretty good gun and a pretty good penetration, if I remember correctly. Well, actually, if I put it straight to the gold, and we got the nominal armor. Well, I could say let's go with the penetration chance, right? So as I said, you have like 200 millimeters effective armor on the turret, so this is your chance of bouncing some tanks. Obviously, you know, against the TDC you won't really have much chance because they do have enough penetration, even at the tier 8 or even at the tier 9. I mean, there are some TDs at the tier 8 which can penetrate too straightforward. I'm not talking about the whole. Whole is literally paper. You can bounce lower tiers, but you're not gonna bounce the higher tiers where the tanks which has a lot of penetration. As for okay, okay, right. Let's change the tank a little bit. Let's take the Kari for example, right? Oi oi. Now let's take the Progetto. Let's take the Progetto and see. Even the Progetto can pin you like this. Yeah, you can actually side scrape a little bit, kind of. You can definitely side scrape. You have a little bit of turret armor with a big weak spot on the turret as well. A small cupola, which is well easily penetratable. But once again, you do have -9 gun depression, which actually, you know, can be pretty handy in the right situation. So talking about the equipment of this tank, I choose to use the experimental mobility, also the bounty armor and the bounty vertical stabilization, because I really want to improve the gun, and of course directive armor, so I can have a little bit more DPM if possible. As for the field modification, I went with the parallax adjustment just to improve the aiming circle of the tank, and also I went with a periscope to actually improve a little bit my view range as well. Apart from that, I don't use anything else. You can actually use a secondary setup in case you want to. So let's get stuck into some battles and see what this tank has to offer. Okie dokie guys, so we are back on mines. First battle in a tier 8 matchmaking, 1 RT as well. So let's see if the armor of this tank or if the gun is actually pretty good. And we are back, boys and girls, and we only managed to get 3.3k damage. We blocked 1.4, but holy moly, like I could say on that side scrape, I took so many shots. Well, maybe I wasn't side scraping too well, right? Or maybe this tank actually doesn't really too much armor, or who knows, maybe I'm just very special. Either ways, so as I said, only 3.3k damage, a little bit of blocked, nothing too crazy, nothing too special. So let's get stuck into another battle. So I guess this time we are playing in El Halof in a tier 7 matchmaking, which is pretty good, I could say. So I'll let you enjoy the gameplay. So yeah, back again with the post-game stats gear here, guys. Apparently we got an ace tanker, but keep in mind it was a tier 7. Unfortunately, we lost the battle. 4.8k damage, 500 assist, and a little bit of block as well. As you could see, this tank gets penetrated pretty easy. It doesn't matter who's shooting you. I mean, with a little bit of penetration, even the tier 8s can literally tell you bye-bye. So it doesn't necessarily have the best armor whatsoever. 200 millimeters on the turret is not necessarily enough to bounce something. So I don't find this tank as a heavy tank. I think it's more like support of a tank, so you don't go in the front line with it. It's another tier 8 premium tank, and to be honest with you, nowadays I think tier 9 premium tanks are just way much better than the tier 8s. Unless, you know, it's a tank like the Zwilling or the Kari, for example, you know, tanks which can actually have an impact in the game. Once again, keep in mind this was a tier 7 matchmaking, and this does not show exactly what this tank is capable of for sure. Speed-wise, the tank seems pretty okay. It's not slow or anything, so it's definitely okay in that regard. DPM, well, it does lack a little bit of DPM, where I mean, it's not that bad for a tier 8. It's a Chinese tank, you know, you would expect the gun not to hit that much, but it does, you know, it does seem pretty reliable as well. So yeah, it's just we're gonna have to see how it goes, right? So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed these battles, and if you're not a subscriber to the YouTube, feel free to subscribe to the channel, and let me know what you think in the comments down below. And of course, you know, don't forget to check me out on Twitch, as I will be playing more battles with this tank, and we'll see if it's worth it or not. Until then, have a lovely day. See you soon. Bye bye.